That is our role, and our being Leslie herself. Since her birth, Becca has always filled us with immense pride. She was a wonderful child, albeit strong-willed, and has developed into a responsible and caring woman. Over the years, we've done many things together. She even gave up 2 nights' sleep to accompany me to a motorbike race on the Isle of Man. She has energy and can talk forever. An ideal teacher.
What great.
Now, where's Ben?
Hi, Jude.
I first met her now husband when he served me at Rothwell Co-op. He seemed shy then. How wrong I was. Since knowing Ben, we've done many wacky things together, including a mad cycle ride around the Isle of Man PT course, and there's at least one person that knows how difficult that is. And more recently, canoeing in the Irish Sea this February. We blame each other, but I think we don't blame really. I think it's fair to say we tend to blame each other. On a serious note, Becca and Ben have been together for many years, including their time at university when they were separated during the week. Despite this, they managed to see each other either in Sheffield or Nottingham or occasionally Rothwell at the weekends. After graduating, it was only a matter of time before they would find their own place and settle down. They bought a lovely house together and have 2 beautiful children, which just happen to be described as dogs. I still think they should be here. Becca and Ben enjoy life together and have exciting plans for the future. I think a jacuzzi fits in somewhere. They are well matched and clearly committed to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, I would finally like to say a thank you, a couple of thank you messages. Firstly to my daughter and her new husband for making me the happiest and proudest father around. Thank you. Secondly, to all of you for helping to make this such a wonderful occasion. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I wish the bride and groom all the happiness in the world. The bride and groom.
Bride and groom.
Well, thank you very much for those kind words, Clive. It doesn't seem like 2 minutes since Becca's 18th birthday party, and a perhaps unconvincing act of a sober and sensible boyfriend phoning for a lift home. Obviously, it was completely out of character. Right, I promise I'll keep it short and sweet. I am quite happy, quite possibly the happiest now. I'm very grateful to all those involved in getting us where we are today. I'll do my best to put that as eloquently as possible. On behalf of my wife and I, I'd like to thank everyone for being here for our special day. I know some of you have travelled far. For those in Rothwell, it is practically abroad. I know many of you have taken holiday in order to be here today, and thanks for being here. Thank you as well for your generous gifts. They will ensure we have a honeymoon to remember, or that we won't remember much of it at all. My wife and I have been taken aback by the kindness and generosity of the people involved in the planning and preparation of today. We would like to say a very big thank you to those kind souls. I'd like to thank from the bottom of my heart Leslie and Clive, firstly for your helping in making today a great day, secondly for bringing up your daughter to be the fantastic woman she is today, and she is fantastic, and importantly for your blessing of our marriage. Today we are officially family, but thanks to your warm welcome I have felt a part of your family for many years already. Your daughter's happiness will always be my highest priority. On behalf of my wife and I, I'd also like to thank my parents, not for producing a fantastic son, he's not done a bad job, but for all of your help in the wedding and for welcoming Becca into our family. I know Becca feels as much a part of our family as I do, and it is reassuring to know that between Mum and Becca, I will always be in the right place at the right time, even if I don't know what's going on. Now it comes to the part of the speech where I say something nice about Becca. I've agonised over this paragraph. How can I possibly describe how you make me feel in a single paragraph? Rebecca Powers, you are the most beautiful creature I have ever set eyes on. You're kind and selfless, thoughtful, elegant, intelligent, and well posh. You're the perfect mix of sophisticated woman and carefree, fun-loving girl. You can be utterly infuriating, and I love that about you, which is utterly infuriating. The reason that I am here today is that you turn day-to-day life into bliss. I'd like to ask everyone to join me in a toast to Rebecca Powers. Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Without much further ado, I shall pass you over to my best men. As friends go, you couldn't ask for more. Always willing to get you into trouble, and usually willing to make a botched attempt at getting you out of it. They are lovely chaps, despite their habit of making up ridiculous stories from time to time. Before I hand you over, I'd like to say a final thank you on behalf of my wife and I to the bridesmaids. As I'm sure everyone agrees, you all look beautiful. Extra special thanks go to Maid of Honour Nicola for the tremendous amount of work that has gone into making those superb dresses.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. For those who don't know me, I'm Rick and this is Neil. We would firstly like to say, and I think you'll agree, how beautiful Becca is looking today. Secondly, we'd also like to say many thanks to bridesmaids for all the hard work. That's the two Nicholas, the two Emilys, and the one and only Charlotte. And again, I think you'll agree that it looks good. Thirdly, we'd like to thank the ushers, Anthony, Adam, and Paul, who managed to herd everyone to church in time and was corrected, and still managed to get everyone back here without a leaving.
Before we carry on, Beth, I'd like you to come up here. I want you and Ben to stand together. And Becca, Ben, if you can hold, you've got a glass, so actually we're doing it like that. Becca, you hold your hand out, and Ben, if you can just hold your hand while we talk through the speech. Alright? All will be revealed in good time, don't worry. As you will know, it says two best men. We ourselves have not worked out why, but at the same time I'm pleased there are. Firstly, if there's any mess up, I've got someone to blame. And secondly, anything that goes well, I can take full credit for it. For those of you who don't know us, that do know us, might know the real reasons we think we have a much better memory and we'll be less likely to forget the ring and we'll forget things in the church.
On the other hand, Neil's memory lacks. For instance, the whole time on the stag do, especially while playing cards, took him at least 4 or 5 attempts to get anyone's hand right. And this was before we'd even had a drink. Talking of the stag do, we do have a little confession, Becca. I'm very sorry, but we didn't manage to get Ben behave. He did, in fact, get a kiss from someone. Where it just happened to be a drunken 20-plus stone, toothless rugby player. When I say a kiss, I mean full-on tongue. When I say Ben didn't have much choice, he really didn't. This was huge.
We must apologise if the speech isn't the greatest you've ever heard, as we're not the best public speakers. Neither are very good at writing speeches, so we went to the obvious place for some inspiration. The internet seemed the best place for this, so with all the information at our disposal, we began searching the web. After a couple of hours, we found some really good stuff on the net, but then we remembered we were supposed to be looking for the best man. We We did actually find loads of ready prepared speeches on the internet, but sadly none of them were about a couple called Ben and Rebecca. So it looks like it's down to us after all. As part of our research, we discovered that according to tradition, we are supposed to sing the groom's praises and tell you about his many good points. We're very sorry, we can't sing, and we won't laugh.
As you've already been told, Ben and Becca met each other really well there in sixth form, and that's where they first started going out. And as Clive said, they've stuck by each other ever since, especially through university days, even when they had to get the train back and forth from Sheffield to Nottingham and so on and so forth. Just boosting their student debt a little bit more, still scrounging a bit more money off their parents. After leaving university, as I said, they bought a house in Bedford. The Grange. The Grange, yeah. Living for each other now for about 2 years. Before Ben finally plucked up the courage for Becca to marry. Now, I think you'll all agree, Becca does deserve a loving husband, and thank God she agreed to marry him before she found him.
Me and Rick have known Ben for a good 8 years and share many an adventure, whether it be running away from farmers to shotguns and dogs to climb their hay bales, or trying to climb mountains. And although Ben assures us all he did do the 3 things in 24 hours, when we climbed Scarfell in the Lake District, he only made it halfway and decided a good sleep was more important. Hours later, on the way down.
On our latest adventure, the Stag Do, we all went down to Newquay for some canoe surfing. Now, Ben had explained to us on the way down he'd done this before and was boasting he was alright at it. Now, we went to the beach on the first day and we were confronted by 6 to 7 foot waves. Bearing in mind, none of us had done this for the first time. So as we were going out, most of us got the hang of it, took a little while, but we finally managed to get past the breakers. When we all did, we all turned round just to see Ben's canoe floating back ashore, Ben swimming after it yet again. Now, as already stated, Becca's 18. It was a fancy dress party which did prove to be quite useful, especially as Becca managed to get my brother's cowboy hat on the way home in the car, just as well, sick bucket to be honest. While the rest of us did try to act sober for the parents. Ben did fail miserably.
Although on a serious note, Ben has supported us and been a good, reliable friend over the last 8 years. And after many years to come, we'll still be meeting on a Monday night and when he's all his money at cards. Now, in case any of you are wondering why I've asked Ben to place his hand on Becca, I'll tell you now, Ben, as our final role as your best friend, it's a great pleasure that we've been able to give you the last 5 minutes to ensure that we'll hand on Becca. Because I can tell you now, it will almost turn out. Now, also which I've done, I've written a poem about Ben and Becca, so I'm just going to say that.
Read away.
Now, I've known this young couple for ages, since they were younger than sweet 16, and blimey don't I know it, just ask me, what haven't I seen? Now, Ben is my best mate, so I have to speak with care, which of this good boy from Rockwell can best be described as rare. So what about young Ben's life, just what is there to tell? His liking for dubious characters and his secret behaviour is hell. When a party struck, he spent much of his time, in fact most of it, in the loo. Don't ask me what he was doing, because I was in Peter's shirt. We once around Kettering and had a few beers. Ben came back to my floor. I kicked him out at 12:30 and he threw up all over my front door. He once told me quietly that Becca was the best of all the girls, especially her long blonde hair, preferably when she's got those curls. When Ben met young Becca, they were really good mates for years. He fancied her through sixth form and asked her out after conference of fears. No matter, she said yes to him when he finally helped ask her out. To her dad's disgust, but he heard the word that Ben was a filthy lout. now Becca, she's a clever piece and as clever as they come. But she's always good and prepared and certainly loves her fun. Now Ben, before the wedding, I've never known one like it. A man trying to lose some weight. My bum's too big, my hips are wide, and I have moves I really hate. They are the nicest couple to know. You could say the couple of the year. But when Becca wants a bit on a Sunday, he's too busy watching Top Gear. They're off on their honeymoon in a couple of days to stay in Turkey's own 40 Towers. So I'd like to end this poem by congratulating the new Mr. and Mrs. Towers.
thank you everyone for listening to us. We hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon and evening. The bar is open, so let's make full advantage of it. And just in case you're wondering, mind the lager, please. On final note, I want you to all raise your glasses, please, to the new Mr. and Mrs. Powers. Mr. and Mrs. Powers.
My second half. That's it. Everyone